What is picking up? My name is Eve.
My name is Sarah.
And we are Burnt Out Perfectionist. Happy Monday.
I was like, tis we are. I'm why that's where my brain was.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I did that whole thing where they were talking about how to organize stuff for Christmas. And it was like, here's a great way. Like if you have kids will have like holiday specific books and holiday specific blankets. And you have like wrapping paper for different seasons, unless you can like multitask the wrapping paper. You'll have all these extra things. Pack it in with all your decorations. So not last year, but the year before, I did that. And I was like, wow, that is the smartest thing ever. They even suggested like if you had enough room, putting in like pajamas, which I don't think is logical because children.
Well, so once it gets cold, I'm like, I don't care if it's middle of October. Let me pull out my Christmas pajamas. I'm cold.
Exactly. So I was like, hey, that's a little much. But like anything that's like heavily Christmas themed, I put in the stuff. And I was like, oh, this is so great. I don't have all this paper laying around. Well, then you swing around to last year. And I was like, the fuck? I have no wrapping paper. Oh, no, we didn't put up the tree till later last year.
Yeah.
And I had like originally only pulled out like the outside boxes and like one of the inside boxes. And I was like, oh shit, I have nothing. That's so weird. Also, there's this other stuff missing. And then I went back underneath and I like shoved it over to the side. It was under like a Halloween box or something. I'm like, oh, good God. But yeah. So then because I thought I didn't have any, I bought paper.
Oh.
And the year before that, I thought I didn't have a lot because I didn't put the rolls all in one consistent place. So then I bought more paper. So I have like 6 to 8 rolls of Costco size fucking Christmas wrapping paper.
Jesus.
And they're all double-sided.
It's annoying. Like, I love wrapping. I think it's lots of fun. I've always liked it. Like,
yeah.
Peach used to get me to wrap it all. Like, our sister would get us to get me to wrap it all the time. Sarah conveniently leaves things in my closet, so then I have to wrap them. I also saw this mom that was like, I rent out a hotel room and I wrap all the presents with my friend and we watch Christmas movies.
My God. Okay, so I saw that video for the first time like 2 or 3 years ago. And within 15 minutes, you and Jen sent it to me. And we're like, oh my God, we should do this. This is hilarious. And then Morgan sent it to me and was like, if you live down here, I think this would be something that we should do.
I really like we'd travel for.
I literally just screenshotted it and sent all of them because Morgan was the last one. And she was just like, oh, that is hilarious. She's like, you and Nate should totally do that.
Well, most of the time I feel like mom, I usually help mom wrap.
I just need to remember the golden rule of I'm old as fuck and I should not be sitting on the floor.
No! If your birth year starts with a 1 and a 9, you wrap on a table, not the floor. The amount of times that I see people, which like, this has come to the great time of consumerism.
Yeah.
To everybody, the average amount that you spend on one person should not be over $1,000.
Oh, I'm not even close to that.
Me neither. But I'm not like, I'm sitting there watching these videos of, and we've discussed them before, of like wish lists.
Yeah.
And what is with this PowerPoint thing? I can't get behind the PowerPoint.
I do not understand that concept. I have yet to see, I'm wondering, and I'm not picking on the United States of America, but I have yet to see a Canadian creator or someone who is Canadian do this, or folks from like overseas. So I don't know when this PowerPoint thing started. I wonder if it was a joke at first and now people like, it's one of those things that like accidentally turned into things that people think are legit.
But like I've seen like PowerPoint parties where it's like educate us on something you really like, and it's like this is a PowerPoint about this.
That's cute. But for the folks who are listening and they're like, what the fuck is a PowerPoint wish list?
It's essentially like when somebody like, a gift list, and then people break it down on the reasoning on why they want it and the very specifics on why they want it. So I don't know if it was just like our family would make lists, but like it's not like a golden rule that you had to follow.
No, like sometimes I just go and I buy gifts off of vibes.
Yeah.
Like as cheesy as that sounds, like I had 2 different plans for Eve's Christmas present. I already told her what they were because they're kind of kiboshed. But I was just like, oh, I'll just go to the store and like walk around and I'll just buy stuff that kind of like calls to me. Something that I think, I'm not Moana, but like something that makes sense for that individual because I know them very well.
Well, and I've seen them that, like, our family, I'd usually say the average price of an item that is on a wish list, like highest point, is like $80.
It's like $80. I do have a section on my wish list that's called like big ticket items because my mother-in-law allots a certain amount of money. So if she wants to actually buy a physical gift, I put those things there, but I call them the big ticket items because it's like, don't fucking look in here. These are the expensive things. Or sometimes it's like if I won the lottery, I would buy these things.
But I see people that are like, every year they get their kids a new iPad or a new MacBook. And I'm like, is it broken?
Oh, also, if you have Apple stuff, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't know about it. There's like educational pricing that you can get on stuff. They have a great like refurb section too. And the refurb section you get free Apple Care for like 2 years. You don't even like really have to pay for it or it's discounted. If you buy stuff around this time, you usually get free AirPods or you'll get something free if you're spending over a certain amount. And if you have devices and they're still in good working order and you take them to an Apple store, you get like a fat ass credit to go towards stuff.
But besides the point, no one needs a new MacBook every year.
No, I can't even like imagine getting a new computer every year. Just like the amount of like setup and transferring of stuff.
The only time I could ever like minorly understand it is like if that was your entire job and say like you had a professional laptop for like if you owned like a photography business.
Yeah.
And stuff like that and like your computer's crashing in that regard. But like the amount of times that it's like, oh, here's a brand new iPad every single year. Here's a brand new this. And I'm like, where does the other devices go?
Yeah.
Like, this is like the Christmas theme thing. Like, where does it go? Like, every single year I see it and I'm like, I was never the kid's like, oh, somebody got so many more presents that I didn't. I never really cared.
Oh,
I was like, I'm content. But, like, I was always the book nerd. I would always get, like, series of books, which I'm happy about. I love books.
Yeah.
And, like, that was my happiness. And, like, I would see people haul and they're like, oh, my parents got me. And, like, my own mini fridge. Like, there's something called, like, the dozens. There's a family that has, like, a dozen kids.
Oh, the ones where they give the kids a budget and then they can fill their mini fridge?
No, but like I'm talking like just like Christmas stuff. It'll be like, oh, this is what I got them, and like I'm not talking about like those tiny ones that are like desktop mini fridges. I'm talking about like bar fridges.
Oh, I seen the mom who did the mini fridges. They had 3 levels, but they were still like bigger than those average like other ones. And then it was like she would like fill up like juices and snacks, and the kids could pick specifically what they wanted. And some people are like, oh, it's trash. She goes, no, like this is like their fun thing.
I know, but I'm talking like full on mini fridges into every room. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's a lot of electricity.
And so sometimes I'm like, oh, like I'll watch. Thank you. I'll watch like the thing and it'll be like, oh, everybody gets their own Dyson. I'm like,
why not just share?
Like, I understand if you have like 12 kids.
Oh, then I'd get 2.
Like,
if I had 12 kids and I could afford it, I would get 2.
Yes. Like, maybe like 1 per 4 or whatever. Like, depending if you only had girls. And I was like, what is this? I was like, that is so much money on those things.
Yeah. I mean, if you can count on longevity, but I feel like for a lot of products, you can't count on longevity. Like, you're not buying an investment product. Like, that shit will break.
It will break.
And also, people don't read manuals and don't understand how to maintain things anymore.
Oh my God, clean the filter. Do you know how many of these air stylers that I see?
Oh, yeah.
People are like, it stopped working. And number 1, I'm like, clean out the filter. And they're like, oh my God, it works. And I'm like,
I know that's like, I have one of those. Some people are really like, oh God, really? I have 2 different versions of the Revlon brush. There's like one of the changeable attachments that they gave me, and then which I use for bangs. And my daughter uses for her hair because it's perfectly straight and she doesn't need to do anything else other than blow dry it. And then I have like the actual like blow dry brush that a lot of people had. And you have to clean your hair out of the top, just like a hairbrush. You have to clean the bottom out. Like it's very logical. If it smells like burning hair, generally means that you missed a step and need to clean something.
Yes. Also, like, I don't know. I just find during this time of year, I see the amount that people are like, oh, I'm spending $4,000 on each kid. And I'm like,
I know there's people who are either high spending, that I see on my feed. And then I've seen a lot of people who are like, oh, we're saving up to go on a trip. I'm only going to spend $100 on my 4 kids and I'm thrifting everything. I saw one girl who did that.
yeah.
But there was another one who was like, I'm not spending a lot on people for Christmas, and they were buying stuff off of like brand new things off of like Facebook Marketplace that like maybe someone like won at something or whatever, and they were getting like really good deals on things, or getting like stuff from like Plato's Closet or other things like that. And folks were like, "Oh my goodness, that is such," like, the comments go between one of two things, like, "Wow, like, what a great idea, like, sustainability, cost-wise, da, 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 da," stuff like that. And then there's the other people going, "Ew, I'd be so horrified if I got something secondhand or something that you bought off of Facebook Marketplace for Christmas." I was like, "What?"
There was a couple creators that we watch, and I'm not going to name them because Sarah knows where I'm going with this. Is I was sitting there, we were watching, I can't remember, like, it was some form of video that they put out. And it was like, oh yeah, like, um, oh, that smoothie's like so expensive now. And then it was like, oh, well, I just, get this off of this and this. And I was like, these are the people that last Christmas were like, oh, it's just a little treat yourself. Here's a $15,000 purse. And I'm like, what?
I know, and then there's, like, creators. I'll name the creator that I'm talking about. It's Laura DIY. She'll do cute things, like, last year she made her dad this little dish
Mhm.
that was shaped like, and they all, like, love SpongeBob, so it was shaped like Patrick. I'm gonna say that was last year or the year before. And she'll make all these, like, little, like, homemade things, but also buy stuff, but you never see it, like, I mean, we're only seeing what they're showing, but you never see her buy her, like, mom anything, like, crazy extreme.
I've seen her like once or twice. I think it was like at her wedding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's just so extreme now that like it's insane watching kids lists now
Oh.
is just like even like my coworkers, they're like their kids are a range of ages and they're like, "Oh, they all want this. They all want this." And I'm like, "They want more than one?" And it'll be like, "Oh, well, they want their own personal slushy machine." I'm like, "For what?" Like, that's an appliance.
I know you used to be able to get those cute little like snow cone makers, like the little like the company that makes stuff that we're probably closest would be like Dash, but they used to always have like those novelty ones, and it would be like kids were fine with those little things like that, and now it's just like I just feel like it's spawned into like ridiculousness.
Like, I'm gonna say it. I am still content with getting a tiny chocolate every day.
Oh, that was okay. So I was one of those moms. I really wanted to make an advent calendar that we could reuse because I was like, why not? We always have my kid loves candy, but she's not like an avid, like, I'm gonna eat all of it after Halloween. So whatever, like reuse type of thing. Eve found on an advent calendar that you can like put together and decorate. And I was so excited to do it. And I don't know what happened in November, but it just went away. And then literally my daughter gets up on December 1st. She looks at me, she goes, "Do I have an advent calendar?" And I was like, "No, I had this whole thing where I was going to make one. And then I don't know where the time went." She goes, "Oh, that's okay." I'm like, okay, like she was very chill. Like she was just asking. And then I ended up having to go to the grocery store to like pick up stuff and everything. And magically, the one that she's had for the last 4 years was on sale for $7.99. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Advent Calendar.
I got the Kinder one and the Lindor one a few years. I just randomly bought them. And then, like, mom got the jam one.
Oh, I grabbed her that one last year because she loves
I got-
jam. And then I was like, oh, it's on sale. I should grab it again. I'm like, no, she probably still has tons of jam left.
No, don't buy her another one. The stupid little jars are everywhere. Every well, I should just keep up. Why? Why do you need another tiny jar?
They're so small too.
I know, and like I love mini things too, but like
But 24 tiny glass mason jars with a lid on them.
what is that holding? Unless I'm taking a tiny bit of like mayo to work.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a little sandwich.
Have you seen those little tiny Heinz mayos that they have?
Oh my god, it's so cute.
They're so cute. It's like the tiny ketchups or the tiny Franks.
But can we be
There's
honest?
a tiny tahinis.
The ability to get the tahines, okay, but like getting stuff out of that,
Oh.
what a pain.
Oh, such a pain in the ass.
Like every single time is like,
The fucking Franks one plugs up so bad.
and like in theory sounds great,
Yeah.
but every single time I'm like, oh, that'd be so great. Oh,
I like the girls who like make their own little like wristlets of like condiments that can be pantry safe or whatever. They have like these like crazy, it looks like at first you're like, is that a bag chart? And it's just like 25 different types of hot sauce.
I thought it was like a medicine kit, and it was an entire spice bag.
Yeah.
Like this girl got like tiny ones and loaded them up, and she was like, so if I go to like a restaurant I don't like it, I just
Yeah, I'm gonna be totally honest. That's why I don't really restaurants are sometimes just like not my jam anymore. I don't.
I'm so much in like I would rather go to Costco and like get food from Costco
Yeah.
like than go to a restaurant. Like I find one, it's stressful. Two, it's so noisy. Like when we went for your child's birthday, we were sitting there and this like a couple and I think their friend. I don't know. Maybe a throuple. No judgment over here. But they walked across and they were gonna sit beside us, like the waitress was, and they were like, "Oh, can we go somewhere else?"
And I was like, there's literally nobody else in the fucking place.
Like, and they like directly looked at me, and I was like,
I know. I was like, what the fuck?
so then they walk away, and I'm like,
They put them in like a booth too after.
they literally put them right beside another couple with 4 children.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, I vibe with this waitress.
You have fun with that. I know there was a whole thing that happened on this past weekend, which was unfortunate. Like we booked ahead for like a team booking for the tournament at like a local establishment for food.
Mm-hmm.
Booked ahead, several weeks ahead, did everything. 2 other hockey teams showed up without a reservation, and they let them in at like 5 or something. Our reservation was at 6.
Mhm.
We showed up and we're like, okay, like everyone's like funneling in, and like the person who helped me do all this stuff, like she had this all planned. She knows like the owner, like it was like a whole thing. And I'm like, why are we standing here? Who are those people sitting in that section? And they're like, oh, for the other hockey team. And I understand that stuff happens. There's miscommunications. All you got to do is just say, like, I'm sorry. We'll like figure it out. And they basically had us all standing there for like 20 minutes trying to like figure it out. And I just looked at my husband and was like, I'm done. Like, I'm going. And when we came in, we're just like, have the heart. And she like rolls her eyes. And she's like, the hockey team, which one? Like this. And I was like, the one that had the reservation for 50 people is what I said. And she goes, oh yeah, so we're just looking for some places to put you guys. And I was like, oh, okay, so we can't all sit together, like the reservation that we booked. And we had other people who came in earlier and blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, and they're not like leaving right now.
Okay, but we booked.
I was like, okay, like whatever type of thing. And then I understand it's like stressful. I've like been in situations where stuff like that happens, but it's like then they were like putting everybody everywhere and it was all over the place. They were like, okay, whatever. Then they turn and they look at it. Eventually it was like one of the dads was like, hey, like there's this table over here. And I sat down. He's like, you 3 can come with me. So we sat down. We're sitting there. And the girl comes over and she's like, oh, this is the tone. So are you guys like staying now? And her face she was like basically like rolling her eyes. And I was like, yeah, our intention was to stay. We were just waiting for seating. And the other waitress said that we could sit over here. And she was just like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, cool. And she like leaves and comes back, slams down the menus. And I'm like, oh God. All the other people come over and she's like, I'll be right back. And the people come over that she's placed on like the other side of the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, they come over and they're like, so we were talking to the other people who were sitting there from the other hockey team. Like, and they're like, they came here at 5 and they haven't gotten their food yet. And it was like 6:45. Oh. And I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't staying here. And they're like, yeah, we're probably just going to like go somewhere else. We'll just like figure it out. And I was like, I'm not fucking staying. I'm not waiting that long. I'm hungry.
An hour?
Hey, I don't want to be a bitch, but I had a fucking reservation. Everything got fucked up. Okay, whatever. But they're that far behind. So then she comes over, we're getting our stuff. She's like, oh, are you not staying now? Is how she did it. And I was just like, oh no, I'm like, we heard that the kitchen's a bit behind. So we'll just go somewhere else. Like we're hungry, need to get to bed. The kids have a game at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I have to be there early. She's like, the only people who don't have food is your team. This is literally how she was talking. And I was just like, okay, thanks. Because I was done. I was so fucking done. I had already gotten, like, another waitress was, like, lipping us off and treating us like shit. Like, there was this whole other thing. And it was like, we had done something wrong. And I was like, well, we didn't. And then as we were leaving, she's like, okay, have a nice night. And, like, rolls her eyes. And I fucking slammed that door open. And I was like, oh, I am so fucking done. And one of the coaches is on the other side. And he's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, dude, I'm not fucking staying here. Fuck this place. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm done. And we went to the truck. And guess what? The whole other half of the team that they didn't have time to sit and didn't have time to feed, we all went into the local Dairy Queen, advised them of what was happening, and they were very happy, accommodated us out, and we had food in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And they were so great and so happy that we were there and so nice. And we all laughed because our bills were like $30 versus at that other place, our food bills probably would have been over $100.
I find during this season, man, people just seem so much nicer during the holidays.
Oh, that definitely wasn't me. I feel like it's one of two ways. People are either nicer during the holidays or so entitled.
Oh, and also, what irks me to ever living soul, just because it's the beginning of January doesn't mean that your New Year's resolutions are affecting me. Just because you're doing veganuary doesn't mean that I need to be vegan.
Or when people suddenly decide to do sober January because they completely abuse their livers for November and December. And it's like, I'm like, oh, I don't care. I don't drink. And they'll be sitting there and they'll be like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, look at how much cheaper your bill is. Like, you don't have a 24% tax on your alcohol and you're not paying $16 or more for like one single drink. Like, you can just get like a pop drink that's included with your stuff, or it's $4.
Like, for instance, I love a Christmas movie. So last night, our mom was working on some stuff, so I put on Let It Snow.
Oh,
Lovely movie, has a bunch of people
yeah.
that you would know and stuff. Watched it, I'm like, oh, this is great. So then, every single time I go to watch a Christmas movie, it usually starts off with, there was a car accident. There was this. There was cancer. There was a heart attack. There was some ALS. There was all of these other things. And then it's like finding your joy around Christmas. I'm sorry. I am already living day-to-day life without father.
Yes.
May I suggest enjoying the holidays without a dramatic life story?
Oh, the dramatic life story used to be like your boyfriend broke up with you, or your you thought someone was going to propose to you and you found out that they didn't, and you decided you were just going to like go home without them.
To the president of Hallmark, I'm sorry. I appreciate you wanting to evolve the storylines of Hallmark movies. I think it's great. I watch Hallmark as it is a simple watching the same story. City girl, hometown boy, hometown girl, city boy.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
Some dramatic plot line, like some developer or
Wants to buy it,
or some
rent
giant
too
conference.
expensive.
Yeah.
Some sort of festival market.
There's always a festival.
She wants to leave, yada yada. Happy to do so. Last year I noticed we're getting more complicated storylines. I am also full force of having the sprinkle of Hanukkah movies.
Yes.
Like Dreidel Dreidel. Lovely. Wonderful movie. Watching some of these movies, I used to be able to just sit there, kind of zone out, in and out, maybe like scroll on Pinterest. Now, we have 14 storylines going on at the same time. Somebody is related to somebody who's releasing that somebody is... What? What? Like the one that I watched last year, it was quite cute. It was like all in the same house, but it was like different generations and they were all connected.
Okay.
And then it was like Jonathan Bennett. Joshua Bennett?
Jonathan Bennett.
Jonathan.
I always fuck him up with the
Joshua
guy.
Bassett.
Yeah. No. I always fuck him up with the guy from Wicked.
Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Bennett is with his partner, and I think it's Sam. And so they want to adopt a little girl. But then that translates to that his husband was also somebody who was adopted prior. And this household, I needed to pull out a whiteboard to track this storyline. I was trying so hard. Like, this wasn't like a simple go lucky love story. I was like, what's going on?
We were watching this Hallmark movie. I can't remember what it's called. for the life of me now. But basically, like, this chick returns from the military. She had like a knee injury.
Yeah.
And then, so she's no longer part of it. She meets this guy or knows this guy from her town who was also in the military, and he had some other type of injury, so he couldn't be in anymore. So they like got along. Also, he was like, they called him cute and rugged. I definitely thought he looked like an elf, but that was just me. And it was like the whole connection of like, they have this in common. She's seeing how he's doing. And he goes, no, but it's like really hard. And I was like, oh, what a great little like connection. Like, obviously they're going to end up together at the end. But then they threw in that there's this like battle of Christmas between the two towns. And he's the fire chief that's in the middle of the two towns. So technically he's not supposed to take sides, but he starts helping her because he thinks she's cute and he's helping her. You're like, okay, battle of Christmas. They're building teams. Her brother's on the team. Her niece is on the team. Her best friend that is like either her best friend from school or like someone she has seen for a long time. And then there's these like two other random characters. And you're like, okay, whatever. And then they're going through this like training for this Christmas thing because there's like trivia, a snowball fight. It's like very cheesy. Untangle, oh yeah, it's like all these other things. You're like, oh, okay. They have the mayor from the other town. Her dad is the mayor, so there's another added plot line. The other chick is there's a chick who's the mayor, and she suddenly cannot be the person who leads the team for her town. And she has to ask the fire guy to do it. He declines. Later in the movie, says he's going to. It's like all over the place. And then it was like she gets a call that she get deployed to go train people.
Oh.
And then, but she has to leave. But don't worry, it's January 2nd that she's leaving. Then she gets a call 24 hours later saying that she has to leave on Christmas Day, which, like, the Army would not pay for that unless it was an emergency. That's an expensive flight.
Yeah.
But don't worry, her placement is in Hawaii. I was like, sounds lovely. And there's, like, all these, like, back and forths of things, and it is so like broken and cut up. Like, randomly, like, her brother becomes the head chef at her like friend's diner because the other person was sick. Fucking what else was there? Oh, so there's this random like firefighter who keeps walking in when they go to kiss, and he's like, the soccer guy's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, and then in the middle of this whole fucking Christmas thing, everything like kind of makes sense. There's these two other characters that are like very over animated and very weird who are part of this team.
Mm-hmm.
And then then it's like right near the end, suddenly the other mayor is nice. Like, they forgot to like change what she was like. And her daughter and the other little girl were like battling at the lights. And it was just like, you know why? And they were going to battle at the snowball, but then the girl decided that she didn't want to throw the snowball at the other girl. And she was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. That's just not fair. And there was like this whole like dramatic part of them talking back and forth. So my husband's paying attention and clearly only seeing like the one main storyline.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it stops. He looks at his phone. He goes, what the fuck is going on right now? And I was like, what? And it was like the most over dramatic thing between these two kids. And everyone's like, oh, that's the true meaning of Christmas. And my daughter's like, it's a competition. Hit her with a fucking snowball. Like, she didn't swear, but she was just like, hit her with a what? It's not like she was like stabbing her. Like, they're throwing snowballs at each other. All she had to do was throw the snowball and get her.
Yeah.
And then they won that whole thing. Like, it was just so fucking over dramatic in some parts and everything. But again, there were so many random storylines. And then out of nowhere, it was like the girl was accommodating this other girl's like very specific tea order because she was the singer for their team, and she was terrible. She's a terrible singer. It's the worst singer I've ever heard. I'm pretty sure like the little girl would have carried a tune way better. And they were like, we've got this in the bag. Every single time she's like, my husband's like, fuck my life. And then the guy shows up from the other team and they're shocked because, you know, he sounds like an operatic, like Michael Bublé singer. They're like, oh my god, we're not gonna win this. And my husband's like, you have no fucking chance. Like, it was just so back and forth and all over the place that, like, I put down what I was doing and I was just watching the TV. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's always just, you know, the girl or the guy, they're talking with their friend, they talk with their parents or grandparents or whatever. They attend the festivals. There's some awkward moment with some ex or something or a phone call from their work. And then they decide, so whoever it is decides to change their life and accommodate the other person that they've randomly been in love with.
But it's really been 2 days.
But it's really been, yeah, like, it's just so, like, those ones before were just, like, so easy. And then this one, I was like, what? Like, my brain's broken. There's a new one coming out where I actually know one of the kids who was in it. I don't know if he was, like, a background actor or whatever, but it's called, like, The Secret Santa or something like that.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's the girl from Virgin River. And it's almost like a Mrs. Doubtfire where she has to dress up as Santa to, like, cover her daughter's ski lessons. So far, that is just, like, a hilarious plot line. She's a single mom. She wants to cover her kids' ski lessons. So she pretends to be a dude and dresses up Santa. I like the guy from New Amsterdam's in too. But I was just like, oh, I wonder, like, the trailer is so straightforward of what this movie's going to be. What the fuck are they going to add into that?
But, like, I know in the past we've talked about, like, wanting more original ideas for movies. I'm not counting Hallmark. Hallmark had a system. We enjoy, like, Three Wisest Men about the three brothers.
Oh, yeah.
All three movies, lovely. Very straightforward. Again, last one, they were adding the Black Hood, from Riverdale, Betty's dad.
Oh, yeah.
So he was in it and was playing the one, like, the eldest brother's, I think it's the eldest brothers. No, the youngest brother's fiance's dad, who had an obsession with this bird.
Oh, yeah.
Where was this bird coming from?
You can't do this to people in general, but especially people like us who have, like, ADHD, because we want to know the full backstory. What the fuck is with this bird? Did he get this bird when he was a kid? But it's tell me more about the bird. Why is he so obsessed with the bird? There was one that I watched last year, and as cheesy as this is about to sound, it was actually, like, quite enjoyable, and I didn't mind, like, the concept. There was this girl that was, like, obsessed with shoes, and it was, like, this whole connection that she had with, like, her mom, and they used to go to this, like, fancy department store.
A shoe addict's Christmas.
Yes. So it was, you put on the shoes, and then she'd be taken back to, like, whatever point in time.
The fact that I just could live.
But I'm just like, it was cute because she would go back to those times and, like, get to, like, redo them or, like, relive them or see other parts of it. I was like, oh, that's cute. Like, I know it's a time jump movie, so of course my husband did not like it. But I was just like, oh, this is super fun. Like, the way that they did it. I'm like, this is so cool. And it was like different, but I also grew up with, like, Mannequin, like the movie.
Yeah.
Or, like, oh my God, I just watched it on the weekend before with my daughter. The one with Tyra Banks and Lindsay Lohan.
I was like,
I was gonna say model size, but it's called life size.
But, like, to me, like, holiday, like, entertainment for me is movies and shows that I can watch every year that don't bug me. Is, so, like, the Santa Claus movie's classic.
I love those.
I feel like the new Grinch is, like, the happy medium between the other one.
The Benedict Cumberbatch one's so good.
I do like the Jim Carrey one just because I appreciate it. And I love the girl who plays Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah.
I love 8 Crazy Nights, always have. Mm-hmm. Dash and Lily slaps so hard. I will watch it every single year.
It's so cute. My husband really liked it. I still haven't watched all the episodes.
Something from Tiffany's is cute.
Oh, yeah.
Which I would like to state. Don't try to read the book if you've watched the movie. I tried to read the book. They changed the characters too much. Not a fan. Lovely. Love Actually, watch every year.
Oh, I love Love Actually. Just a friendly reminder, though, that if you have anybody who's, like, super Christian, there's one of the jobs in there that maybe you don't want, like, someone who's in the place to know. One of them is, like, a stand-in for, like, pornography.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people, so I've watched Love Actually for years, and I forgot about it. And, like, I always make sure I just, like, put on stuff, like, whatever. And I'm watching something after my daughter went to bed at my mother-in-law's house. And they came on, and she's like, what's going on? And they don't show anything, but, like, the things that they do, it's like, I have a different type of humor than she does. And I was like, oh my God, I need to turn this off. I totally forgot about this whole thing.
But, like, those ones are okay. Like, Christmas with the Franks. Those are, like, classic.
Pranks, yeah.
Pranks. Like,
we watched that. My daughter also really likes, because she's now at that age, and she only watched it for the first time last year, she does like the first Home Alone and the second Home Alone.
I still never watched them.
What? You should watch them. They're like, even now,
No.
you'd laugh so hard.
Mom and Dad's rule was that they were mortified that someone could ever forget their child.
Oh, and then they're such fucking assholes doing it.
But I don't know, I've never like sat down and watched it. But like so many of those ones, like those cute like love stories that build that have other storylines, great.
Yeah.
If they could make a Christmas Day version of like, you know how they have all those holiday movies with multiple storylines? Like New Year's Eve, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day.
Oh, I really like those. Well, those aren't going to be made anymore because Peggy Marshall and Gary Marshall have passed away. And that's why those movies were so good.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So they did, because he was like the original person who did Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
But he died. If you ever look back at things, like there's specific styles that you can tell, like the directors and the creators behind it, like John Hughes movies. I would love to have more movies that are like John Hughes movies, which the closest I have seen is 12 Boys I Loved Before.
Jenny Han.
Very, very John Hughes coded.
Jenny Han. Wonderful lady. Love you so much.
I would like her to be the next Shonda Rhimes. Just to fucking make everything.
No, like, can you make more Christmas stuff? You remember holiday stuff? I would love that so much. Like, it's so good. And, like, those things, like, I like to watch them, and it's like, oh, like, we finished the OC. And, like...
Oh, you fully finished it?
It's only 4 seasons.
Yeah, I know. They didn't have that... things didn't last that long. Unless it was, like, because they were always competing with, like, 90210. Like, that show was on for, like, 30 fucking years.
But there's, like, 24 episodes per. But I would like to state to the people of OC, what was season 4?
Oh, season 4 was a joke. Just like the last... 2 or 3 seasons of One Tree Hill? Like, what was that?
Nothing was going on, right? I was so lost the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, watch that. The Christmas episode's cute. Did I forget for the longest time where Christmas originated from? And I would say Happy Christmas, and people would be like, what are you talking about? I did not realize, mind you, OC came out in 2003. I was 2.
Yeah.
So when OC came out, I was probably not of the most appropriate age to be watching it. But ever since I was little, I always said Happy Christmas. I don't know where it came from. And I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like,
that was the best, is when I got a message and you're like, oh my God, I get it. Because it's like when we have sayings that we say around people, or like little like idioms of certain things, you pick them up and sometimes you just end up saying shit. It's like our dad used to always have these like hilarious fucking sayings like, you look like a porcupine humping a football, piss up a rope and suck on the wet end. If it was like all these random things, and we'd say them. And even now, if I randomly say something that people will turn and look at me and be like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? And I'm like, they look uncomfortable, like a porcupine humping a football. And they're like, what?
It's like almost like a vocal stim. My most recent one, la boo boo.
Oh my
God, la. Every day. I'll just be sitting there and I'll be on my phone scrolling.
3 times during Ollie's vlog yesterday.
I was like, oh my
God. Once really loud. The second time it was kind of medium. The other time we were like whispering, and I was like, oh my God.
Labu labu. And then sometimes I just progress. I think a part of me minorly has Tourette's, because sometimes I'll just be like,
sometimes I just need to fill this noise, or there's like a bunch of noise going on, and you just feel overwhelmed. You're like,
it just comes out.
I do the same things though,
but I just don't realize. I was just like, oh no. But like holiday movies, I feel like used to be a time where families come together. Same with like presents. Yeah. And now it's like,
you never know what you can watch anymore. Like, you have to like pre-watch so many things, because out of nowhere there's like tits and ass and people are like fucking, and you're like, oh, okay. And it's the rating difference, which I don't know if anybody should like go back and like re-rate things per generation from like old films, but there's some things where I'm like, oh.
Well, so usually what'll happen especially if it's a holiday movie, I'll get a text from Sarah saying, have you watched this already? Yeah. And usually I'll be like, yeah, nah, maybe not. Would not highly recommend watching this with your child. Which, like, movies have been bugging me because I want better ones. But also, to the content creators, stop jibby-japping me and saying, oh, we're not doing Vlogmas. And then it's December 3rd. And you have posted every single day. Nothing else. Like, Prime Television was like Disney Christmas.
Oh, I loved, like, I think they still do it, but they've completely changed the movies that they use. But it used to be like you had TGIF on Friday, so that would be like more like teeny bopper type shows.
Yeah.
One Saturday morning was like cartoons and all this other stuff, and it basically spanned for exactly the morning. It would start at like 7 and end at 12 p.m. And then on Sunday, it was called like the Magical World of Disney Night or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it would start at like, I swear to God, it used to start at like 5 or 6, a standard Disney movie. And if you didn't have ABC, then it would be, I think it was like CBC did the relay or something. And then it would be either the same movie if they could get the rights for it, or it would be like a Disney Channel movie that we would have never seen because we didn't get all the Disney Channel content on like Family Channel and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it was very much like you could watch those types of movies and stuff like that. Like,
You know, that everybody could sit down and watch. I find it so hard. Like, you used to read the newspaper.
Yeah.
And you look at the newspaper and you would see when there was like different events around town, like, or the Christmas parade. I find that so many of those things now have moved to like Facebook or social media. And I'm not an avid like Facebooker, which I feel like it's really hard to see stuff unless you're following somebody on Instagram.
I also find it's really hard to, if like, I will look at the local like event spaces and I'll be like, oh, there's a this. And then I'll be like, oh, how much is it? And it'll be like $200. And I'm like,
Or sometimes it's like $25 just to enter. For like, there's like giant craft fairs that you can go to in different areas. And it's like you have to buy tickets and it's like $25 to $35. I'm like, okay, but it's a giant event. Each one of those people paid, and I looked it up. Like, some people paid, if you wanted like I wanted a specific area, upwards of $1,200 for like a table to like sell your shit. I'm like, why the fuck are you charging me to go in? That's what I don't get.
like so many of these. And then I'll watch like DIY Christmas presents and stuff like that. And like, we don't have a fabric store near us anymore. Oh, yeah. Let me just add that to my list of things.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, but they're like, oh yeah, there's one located here. And then you go to buy stuff online, everything is always in a fat square. Everything is in a fat square.
Okay, also, online shipping. I purchased all of my Christmas presents at the beginning of November.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many Christmas presents I have?
Half of them.
Not even.
Oh.
I have 4 packages supposed to be coming. And I'm sitting here going, it's almost been a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, it's coming. I bought it before Remembrance Day in preparation, going, I'll probably get it mid to late November. That's totally fine. I'll be nice and early and stuff like that. I do not know how people are like just starting to buy Christmas presents because I'm like, I'm waiting for these presents from a month ago.
Yeah.
Like, you're screwed. In the nicest way, you're screwed unless you do it in the store.
Oh yeah. The other thing that is really starting to piss me off is you're paying Amazon Prime. You're paying $99 or whatever per year plus tax. So it's like $112. And then they turn around and almost every single thing I was looking at was charging anywhere from $4.99 to $15.99 for shipping. So then I clicked the fucking Prime button.
Mm-hmm.
And over half the things went away. And then some of them were even like, oh, there's this additional charge thing for this. I'm like, whatever happened to you? You had Prime, no shipping.
You had Prime, no shipping. Or like you had like rewards points with places. Yeah. And then you could actually use them. The only one that I find is actually good is like Book Outlet. But I'll like buy a bunch of stuff, and like most of our family like stuff from the same places, so like I can buy it in bulk essentially. Yeah. And then I can get like a deal. I can find a coupon. I don't know what is going on, but I used to be able to I used Honey. I know they apparently sell my information. I don't really care. I want a deal.
I think everybody steals and sells your information nowadays. I feel like no matter what.
It used to be like I would go on any store and I could get like find a random code and I would get 10-15% off. Yeah. And now it's like, oh, you want this one sweater? It's $95 and oh, it's Black Friday, so it's $93.
Oh, I know. I think I think Honey and the other apps and stuff like that track the prices, I think a lot of people are trying to convince people to not use them because it shows how much people fuck people over. So there was something very specific that I was looking at getting somebody for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And the regular price of it is $29.99.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on Black Friday because it said there's going to be a Black Friday deal. Like, it had this like indicator thing on it. I was like, okay, cool. And I went on, and magically it was on sale, but it was $33.99 on sale, and claiming that it was usually $50. And with the honey tracker thing, we're not sponsored by them, by the way, but I could see, because I was like, am I losing my shit? Was that somebody else's list? And I looked, and it said that it was $29.99 like a week or two ago, and that they slowly and then it went to 30, and then it went to this, and then it went to this. So that way on Black Friday it was that. And then the claiming of the price of it originally being like $55. I was like, are you on crack?
Well, it's like Michael's. Michael's is taking away all of their prices to accommodate tariffs, and I'm like,
oh, when they got rid of all their scanners.
Okay, that irks me to every living soul.
You know what? If you're going to get rid of your scanner, so I know the Walmart ones break all the time because I know someone who works there.
Yeah.
And she's like, but they've enabled the app so you can scan it.
Yes.
But the funny thing is when you scan it with the app is you're getting whatever price is listed in the main database. But if that store specifically has it on sale, it won't show up at the store price. It'll show up at whatever price that like Walmart corporate decided it was going to be at. Like, I do not understand how it is 2025 and how people didn't see those Amazon Go shopping carts and stuff like that and didn't go, holy fuck, that's what we should do. And if you don't know what that is, essentially the cart, as soon as you put something in the cart, it adds it to your bill. There's a screen at the top where the handle is, and it shows you your total and everything that you have in your cart. And it shows you the exact price of it. And what you can do is you can, when you're going to like push the cart out, it stops you if you don't pay, by the way, but you can have the option of, because it was Amazon, charging it to the card that was on your Amazon account. Mm-hmm. And you click, when you go to leave, the gate's blocking, and you say, yeah, just like put it on my card. As soon as it authorizes it, lets you out. Or you could go up, just like a pre-scan that they do at like Costco and stuff like that during the holiday season. And it would already be pre-scanned. The person gives like a quick little like looky-loo, and then you just go about with your day. It saves so much time, so much effort when it comes to things. And I don't understand how that concept, people weren't like, oh my God, that's the fucking smartest thing ever. I would love any time of the year to go grocery shopping and know because I'll keep like a mental list of things and sometimes add stuff off in the calculator, but know exactly what I'm going to pay in the end.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, this, and then you get to the checkout and it's like, that'll be $450, and you're like, what happened?
Or on behalf of people who are now old enough to get annoyed when you move around the fucking grocery store, I would love to be able to have my app. I tap it on the screen, it signs me in, and it tells me exactly where to go to find all my shit.
Okay, I will state, the number one app, like website for a store with the capability to locate things is Canadian Tire.
Okay, that is because nobody works there. So I'm convinced that nobody actually works in the physical store of Canadian Tire.
So to anybody who's not in Canada and does not know what Canadian Tire is, it is like a all-around random store. Like, it has stuff for cars, it has home decor, it has a baby section, it has bikes. It is kind of a cluster.
More than Walmart, but like not a super center. Like, there's not like fresh groceries.
Yeah, like there's no food.
There is food.
Well, there's snacks, but like there's no like real food.
The Frank snacks, those were the best. They're so funny.
And so basically, when you go into a Canadian Tire, it is that place where like if you've gone to every other store in your general city and you're like, man, all I need is the Ninja blender in white that is cheaper. Yeah. So you go on the website, if you can reach it, and you will type in, like, say I want a hammock. I look at it, it tells me the exact aisle. And if you click find it, it lights up. Like, it's baffling that we can't get to that. If holidays frustrate you, what are your holiday frustrations? Leave them down in the comments.
Please and thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Know that if you are frustrated, we are here for you.
And always stay warped and twisted as ever. Peace.
Next Monday with more in store. Catch you then, we're always here for more.